Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is your very first time here, a special welcome to you. My goal here is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so you can make the best decision for you and your family, especially if you're parents, as to whether or not you want to watch a particular movie. You can follow me on Instagram at Movie Review Mom, as well as join our Facebook group called Movie Review Mom to check out all of the fun contests and goofy things that we do there. It's a lot of fun. So, the movie that I'm reviewing today is called Wish Dragon. This movie is currently available on Netflix, and I finally had the pleasure of watching it, and I'm excited to tell you about it. First of all, it's rated PG and it's an hour and 38 minutes. In a nutshell, Sony Pictures Animation combines efforts with a Chinese animation company to introduce a more modern Chinese spin on the famous and popular Disney's Aladdin. In fact, the protagonist's name in the story is Din, short for Aladdin. This is Sony Animation's second Netflix exclusive movie after the hit The Mitchells versus the Machines, which is totally adorable. And you should check out my movie review of that movie if you haven't already seen the film. I just thought it was super fun. So, writer and director Chris Applehans explained that he was inspired by Aladdin, but then he wanted to veer off with a new direction with some unique Chinese mythology, settings, and elements. And he does a great job. He's actually best known for other animation work like Coraline, Disney's The Princess and the Frog, and more recently, Wonder Park. And that Disney spark definitely comes through in this film. There were millions of things that I really liked about the movie. I'll tell you just a few. First of all, one of my sons actually married a lovely girl from Hong Kong, and now they have their own baby boy. I've been to Hong Kong and mainland China many times over the years and absolutely love the Chinese culture. So I love that this movie does a great job teaching Americans and others more about the amazing country and culture of China. The movie captures so many little details of Chinese life, and I'm so glad that Asia has been in the spotlight lately in quite a few movies on Netflix and elsewhere. And by the way, this is a little Chinese jacket my son gave me for Christmas one year. Cute, huh? This is really more what the guys wear. The girls wear really cute little dresses with these same little toggle button thingies off, kind of off to the side. Anyway, I thought I'd wear it for the review. Anyway, the Wish Dragon himself is voiced by John Cho in the English version, but in the Mandarin version, guess who voices the Wish Dragon? The legendary Jackie Chan, which would have been awesome if he did it in English. However, he does have a really thick accent, and so people might have had a difficult time really understanding everything he was saying. But Jackie Chan is one of the film's producers. John Cho also did the voice acting in another really cute Netflix movie called Over the Moon. And I just haven't had time to even review that one, but I really loved it. And again, I was so thrilled to see China being represented in animation. The beautiful Constance Wu from Crazy Rich Asians voices the mom in the movie. And I'm surprised they didn't use her for the younger girl, but still, it was great to have her in the cast. Other famous voice talents included Jimmy Wong, Will Young Lee, Bobby Lee, Natasha Liu Bordiso, Ronnie Cheng, among others. And they all do a really great job. There's a really quick scene that shows how fast Shanghai has grown, or as they pronounce it, Shanghai. But in the movie, they actually say Shanghai because that's how Americans know it. But no kidding. I love that city, and especially because it really celebrates the ancient with the modern all at the same time. I've been there a few times. The animation is simple, but very colorful and sweet with great textures and depth. I was really impressed. Lots of purples and pinks are used, as you see in the movie poster itself, and then a lot of the images that you're seeing as I'm talking about this review. The film also, however, incorporates some different styles of animation to illustrate specific things in the story. And I thought that that was really clever. There's a lot of humor and enough for all age groups. Lots of cute visual humor that just made me laugh out loud. Pay attention to the writing on signs, kind of a words on play on words, and the body movements of the characters that often made me laugh. It's really fun to watch the Wish Dragon discover technology and all of the magical things that exist in our modern world today. The backstory of the Wish Dragon is revealed slowly, but when we learn more, it's concise and extremely powerful. The conversation about what the dragon had learned about humans during the past hundreds of years of his life was really profound and important. Now, ironically, capitalism is huge right now in China. The entire country is focused on money, and anytime you see a special decoration or a food, I would ask, oh, well, what is this for? They would always say, oh, it's for good fortune. Fortune is on the minds of everyone in China right now. So I wonder if the Chinese viewers will actually take notice of the important life lessons that are presented in the movie about money and what's truly important in life. And of course, I hope Americans get that too. The kung fu action and kicking sequences are hilarious. One of the characters fights only with his feet while he's wearing a suit and his hands are in his pocket. It's just kind of random and just super funny. The movie's focus wasn't solely on love and romance like Aladdin is. This one offers so much more and at a deeper level, and I really appreciated that. Now, there were only a few things that I thought could have been done better. First of all, I recognize a lot of American viewers might be turned off thinking this is yet one more thing that China has stolen and copied from America, saying that the Wish Dragon is a complete ripoff of Aladdin and the Aladdin's genie. And so they won't give this film a chance. But there are similar elements, of course, in the two films, but this one really does offer something unique and it's definitely worth a watch. It's really hard to feel sorry for a rich, young, famous, beautiful girl. We're supposed to feel sorry for her. And I'm just like, wah, wah. But, I totally understood the story and all the other things that were happening. I'm just saying. There are some really endearing side characters that I wish we could have had more time with and getting to know, such as some of the neighbors, and that was really cute. And then two of the villain's henchmen really didn't even blossom until the last few minutes of the movie. Overall, the length of the movie is just right for little kids, even though I wished I could have had a little bit more, like I said, with some of these other characters, but that's not a big important complaint at all. Now, let me give you some tips for parents because it is a family-friendly movie. Because the target audience is kids, you can absolutely expect some toilet humor. However, not as much as a lot of animated children's movies. So I appreciated that. In fact, really the one big moment is when the dragon is in a bathroom and he drinks out of a bidet. Now, a lot of Americans might not even understand what that is because that typical home in America doesn't have a bidet, and most people don't even know what one is or have ever had experience with it. So you might need to explain what that's all about. And technically, that fancy schmancy toilet that's demonstrated in the movie is actually Japanese. Most of the toilets in China are very, very simple commodes, or they're the hole in the ground type of toilet, which is a whole other thing. And we didn't see any of those in the movie. There's a nod to the King Midas story in the film that younger children may not be familiar with. So when you see someone's hand turn gold, you might want to explain to your kids about that story. And of course, as to be expected, there's lots of animated violence and crazy death-defying shenanigans and stunts and that kind of thing. Now, the themes that are illustrated really well in the story are friendship and reconnecting with lost friends, imagination, being true to yourself, promises, greed, power, money, family, and their expectations, the value of community, the value of wisdom, status, and pressures from society. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines so that you can kind of get a flavor and a feel for the movie. And I write them all down on my written movie review at moviereviewmom.com. So you can go over there and check those out. But I'll share just a few of them with you right now, just because, again, I want you to get a feel for the movie. So one thing that just made me laugh is when the dragon and Din are riding in a taxi, and all of a sudden it comes to a screeching halt. And then the camera zooms out, and you see just a massive traffic jam everywhere. And the dragon is just like in awe and can't even believe it, which is exactly how I felt the very first time I was in a real Chinese traffic jam. It is no joke. We sat with the worst traffic jam I was ever in China was at a four-way intersection. For some reason, the street lights had turned off. And so cars were just all going at the same time. And so we've gotten this big gnarled mess in the middle of the intersection. We could not move, and nobody else could either. We sat there for probably 45 minutes while the cars honked at each other. And I was like, dude, we can't move. Honking is not going to help. Anyway, I thought that scene just really nailed it. But anyway, the funny line is when the dragon looks around at all of this and he says, the sun is moving faster than us. And I was like, exactly. And then another time he says to Din, careful what you don't wish for. I thought that that was interesting. And another interesting line is when Din is trying to explain to the dragon he doesn't want riches and fame and all of that. He says he just wants to be reunited with his friend. And the dragon is completely incredulous, doesn't understand it. And Din just very innocently says, what could be more important than friendship? And of course, that's a foreshadowing in the movie. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but there also is another really sweet line. I'll tell you one more, where Din's mom says to him, I'm sorry I can't give you a better life because they're very poor. And he says, you've given me a lot, everything that matters. And I was like, so there's some really powerful lessons. All right, so you want to know the movie review mom's score I'm giving the movie? Well, it's probably no big surprise. I'm giving it a big fat A. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, when it first started, I was kind of like, what is this, a knockoff of Aladdin? For a moment, but of course I kept watching because I wanted to watch the whole movie, and I felt like I was richly rewarded. It's very different from Aladdin in many, many ways that are meaningful. All right, so before we go, let me give you some recommendations for other movies I think you'll also really enjoy. The first one is Raya and the Last Dragon, which recently came out from Disney, also featuring Asia, not China, but Malaysia, if I remember correctly now. And it also has a fuzzy dragon that's colorful. There's humor. It's very, very sweet. So check that one out if you haven't seen that. And then, of course, if your kids haven't seen the original Aladdin, then they won't know that there is a comparison. And it's kind of fun to pick out the similarities because there are actually even a few Easter eggs. So check those out. All right, that's it for my review today. I hope if you watch this movie, you enjoy it. I think you will. Give it a chance. And thank you all for supporting me by going over to Patreon, but also just subscribing and putting a big thumbs up on the video. And all of those little things really help me to grow my channel. And I'm trying to grow my channel. So tell all the other families around that here's where you can get the inside scoop on the good, the bad, the ugly, and really what's worth your time and money watching. All right, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.